Hello, comrades. Today's guest could have been Shmi, but when I asked him to join me on my show, he said, "Hey, Boris, you don't have any blue cars." And then I asked him, "What do you mean no blue cars? What about the E36? What about E39? What about the Sirocco that we just finished?" And then he said, "Oh, wait, I don't like blue cars anymore, I like purple." Oh. Anyway, this is Top 5 from North Life, and I'm your host, Boosted Boris. So let's talk about top 5 news from the car world from last week. Number 1. Last week a lot of kids experienced premature ejaculation when Nissan showed the new GTR. Everyone was expecting an R36, but instead Nissan grabbed the R35, pressed F5, and there you go, refreshment. Woo fucking who! F5 didn't work well on the outside because after drinking one bottle of vodka I still couldn't see the difference on the outside. The inside, however, received a lot of leather interior upgrades. Hello, Nissan, are you drunk? A GTR is supposed to be a race car. Where is carbon fiber? Alcantara? And what about the fucking seats? Look, they're all made of leather. If I drive a GTR, I want to throw it around in the corners and be sitting very tight inside the, Alcantara seats for example, definitely not leather, and feeling like a horny girl riding a dolphin that slides all the way. Doesn't make no fucking sense. Well, apparently average GTR customers buys one just to show off on the straight, with launch control. No offense, Adnan. Also, they speak of so-called active sound enhancement. Now, let me explain. Exhaust sound out of your speakers. Nissan, sober up, get your shit together. You don't have to follow BMW with all the fake sound coming from the speakers and the range of boring models. Well, let's move on quickly to number 2, let me see. Oh yes, there we have it. Fast and the Furious fans, you're gonna love this, or maybe even hate. GTR wasn't the only thing that excited little boys. Carmrades Rodriguez drove 200 miles per hour, actually even 201, with a, what's it called, Jaguar F-Type SVR. Jaguar, what the fuck, why so many syllables, and what does SVR mean? Special vodka from Russia? Well, how is that news? Well, first of all, this.
This is gonna be exciting. I hope I stay on the ground.
Hey, Carmrades Rodriguez, guess what? Just because you're being filmed and you're sitting in a car, that doesn't mean you're in a fucking Fast and the Furious movie. SVR. Speaking of Fast and the Furious, in the beginning she claims she hasn't driven faster than 140 miles per hour.
The fastest I've ever taken a car is 140, 145 miles an hour.
Ooh, does this mean that Fast and the Furious movies are fake? Speaking of Fast and the Furious, I have only seen her switching gears once.
That's 165 miles an hour.
This is definitely not how you satisfy Fast and the Furious crowd. Well, to be serious and all the jokes aside, I think it would have been better if they shot the whole thing in one take, or in one shot if you want to call it like that, and showed the acceleration 0 to 200 profit, but no, instead we get something like this. Okay, let's forget Fast and the Furious, Rodriguez and that bullshit. Let's move on to the third news, and this is about Audi, that they announced R8 Spyder. And there is one thing that bothers me. This is a fucking Spyder. This is a car with a foldable roof, which you could call convertible. A fucking Spyder has 8 legs. An R8 has 8 in its name. Spyders are hairy, ugly, and shit web. R8, well, I'm not sure about the first two, but it farts exhaust gases. Let's put the emission jokes aside for once, even though Audi is part of Volkswagen Audi group. But if you're one of those retard hipsters that gonna say, ooh, but Spyder as a car is written with a Y and not with the I as a spider and insect. Well, for those motherfuckers like you, fuck you! And I don't mean fuck you with CK, I mean it with a Q. So it's not the same. Speaking of Spyders, number 4 is about some dickhead Crapitalist who cannot drive for shit and crashed his 919 Spyder. If that isn't bad enough, this fucking asshole is trying to sell it for over 100,000 American Crapitalist dollars, and there are some retards who are willing to pay it. Pay me only $100, don't need to pay $100,000, and I will smash that dickhead's face for crashing a masterpiece and trying to make a living of it. Oh, and finally, number 5. Subaru has announced the new Impreza. Who the hell are you people and where are my hoes? Fuck, that shit is boring. But I hope this episode wasn't. This was Boosted Boris. Enjoy your week. See you next time.